Oh, coming back to Boyka after 6 years, yeah, 6 years. I wish it hadn't been 6 years. I wish it was more like 2 or 3. But the whole process of creating the character, obviously I didn't need to do that. I'd played him in 2 films already. So it's more a case of reacquainting myself with Boyka. And obviously there's the physical side of it, that I've got to put muscle on. And of course there's a lot of fights in the movie, so I've got to be in my best physical shape possible, which I'm 39 now, that's a bit of a tall order, but it's just a number. So yeah, I'm in great shape. Learned some new kicks, new things to bring to the kicking table. And with the acting, what was interesting was that when some of the first scenes we did were actually some, lighter sort of where Boyka is in this film. It's uncharted territory. He's trying to be a bit softer towards the leading lady, the predicament that's going on there. So some of the first scenes that we did I was so uncharacteristic of Boyka that I was actually second guessing myself, thinking, hang on a minute, is this Boyka? This doesn't feel like Boyka. I'm not sure about this. And then of course, wasn't long after that where we did a scene which was like real Boyka, the anger came out and it was like, yeah, okay, there's Boyka. We've got him. You can't just repeat what you've done before. And in this film, Boyka's always been a very religious guy. Obviously, all these tattoos mean something. And where we find him in this film, he's more religious than ever, I would say. And he's a very complex character, actually, which I really enjoy about him. He's a religious guy, but he's got this fury within him, this darkness inside of him, which probably he can tap into that as a fighter. And that's one of the reasons why he's, one of the best fighters on the planet, because he's got this thing within him that's quite dark, and he can channel that in the ring. But I think in his personal life, this is something that has brought him no end of trouble. This is the reason why he's in prison in Undisputed 2. And in this film, he goes to church, he donates a lot of his money to the church. He's doing everything that he can to become a better person in the eyes of God. He's basically trying to save himself so that he has a place in heaven. But also, he harbors this dream of being the world's most complete fighter, that he wants to be a champion. So when that opportunity comes, and he believes that this is a gift from God, he has a chance to prove to the world that he can be a champion. And he harnesses this darkness within him. It actually gets him in trouble again. He's been trying to mend the mistakes of the past. And because of this opportunity, he, in the eyes of God, he's in the bad books again. So what makes this different from Undisputed 2 and 3? Well, it's still going to have the things that you're looking for from a film like this. It is a fight film, first and foremost. You're going to go in, you're going to get some amazing fight sequences. That's a given. But obviously the big difference in this movie is that he's out of prison. He's free to follow his dream, which is to be the world's most complete fighter. So it's finding the balance of giving the audience what they expect from the previous films, but yet taking Boyka on a different journey, a place that we haven't seen him, and still keeping him Boyka. We don't want to change him too much. I think people love the character because he doesn't take any shit, and he's kind of gruff, and he's always in a bad mood. He never smiles. But we do take him to a place in this movie where you will see a different side of him, a more caring side, because, we're not black and white, there's shades of grey, and Boyka's not angry all the time. He can be light, he can be nice, or at least he wants to be nicer. So we're showing different sides of the character. How did I come up with the accent for Boyka? It's a bit of a funny story, I guess. Everybody always asks me that question, and it was kind of easy, to be honest. I'm a big Sylvester Stallone fan, so obviously I've watched Rambo 3 quite a few times, and the bad guy in Rambo 3, I always remembered his voice. Who is this John Rambo? And so when I started thinking about Yuriy Boyka, I couldn't stop thinking about this guy from Rambo 3. I forget the actor's name, good actor, and he just had this thing in his voice where he spoke like this, Spetsnaz. And then I adapted that voice, made it a little bit deeper, you know. And somewhere here I found Boyka, Yuri Boyka. And for some reason my lip curls up like this when I do him, which I don't know why, but it helps. The action sequences excite me the most to shoot, but it's not an excitement of, oh, I can't wait to do that. I actually dread the action sequences because I know how much pressure I put on myself to not only done what I've done before, but to raise the bar. And when you've done things that people consider to be, I guess, you know, pretty high up there, raising the bar is not easy. So that's very exciting. You know, when the crowd's screaming and they're chanting Boyka and you hear 3, 2, 1, action, and you're just about to try and perform a kick, which, you know, is difficult to do in the gym on a padded floor when you're feeling at the best of your abilities, let alone at the end of the day or after lunch when you've just sprained your ankle and you've still got to just wrap it up and do this kick. I mean, of course it's exciting, but it's hard work as well. So it's a bit of a love-hate relationship, really. But when you see the end product, when you see the fight scenes edited together, and that's the most exciting part. That's when you realize, yes, it was worth it. All the pain was worth it because now we have this. And what's the famous saying? Pain is temporary, film is forever, and that definitely fits into making an undisputed film. You've just got to get it into your head so that when they say action, you're not thinking, what's the next move? You're not thinking, it's happening. Because, you know, you do it so quickly that you can't actually think about it. It just has to be a reactive thing. So repetition, repetition, repetition. You just go over the fights again and again and again until it's natural. And that's martial arts. Martial arts, learning how to punch, it's from repetition. You're just there doing it in the gym all day. And that's how you learn the fight sequences. So now we have it in the head. And you'll notice with these undisputed films that we tend to have quite long takes. And the reason for that is that we don't have a lot of time to make these fight sequences. And whenever you change the camera angle, you've got to reset the lights and other stuff. So we tend to do quite big, long takes, purely because we can make a longer fight scene in a shorter amount of time if the takes are longer. And also, we can do it, so it's nice to see that as well. So for the average fight sequence, you're looking at about 2 days. I think maybe, 12 hours a day of just fighting. I love coming to Bulgaria. I've been here many times. I've made many films in Bulgaria. And when I know that I'm going to go to Bulgaria next, I always have a warm feeling inside my chest because, you know, it means that I'm working. So obviously, when I think of Bulgaria, I love this place. It's time to work. I love the food. And, you know, when we did Undisputed 2, probably over 10 years ago now, we came here and they were kind of new to it, you know. They were making their way in the film industry. The crew were a little bit green. And it's been great to continue to come here over the years and see how much better the crew has got. And now they've been able to do these huge Hollywood blockbuster movies. So to come back here with a small film like Undisputed 4 and just see the level of the professionalism has risen and everybody's great at their job in every department. To come back here with the small film and see that level go up has been really great, really great. And the production value on this film is amazing, and yeah, every department, it's just it's a beautiful thing. New Bojana studio it gets bigger every year. It gets more professional every year. It keeps expanding, and as I said before, the professionalism of the crew is just amazing these days. And yeah, I love coming here. I hope to come here many years, and I'm always very well looked after, and people are very warm to me, and obviously I've got friends here, and we go back over 10 years, and it's great. You know, this film, there's a lot of love and attention gone into it. I'm aware that Yuriy Boyka is a very popular character around the world. This guy is more famous than I am. You know, when I walk around with this haircut, it's constantly Boyka, Yuri Boyka, Yuri Boyka. You know, walk around as Scott Adkins, it's maybe, oh, it's Scott Adkins, you know, maybe. But Boyka, he's took on a life of his own. So I really hope that the public get behind this, because constantly, every day on social media, someone says, when are we going to get Undisputed 4? Not just someone, loads of people, all the time, constant. And I've been pushing to make this film as well. And now that we're making the movie, it's going to come out next year, I really hope that people can go out and legitimately buy the film and pay for it, and not download it and not pirate it, because at the end of the day, it's a small film, and if it doesn't make money, the finances would be stupid to produce another one. It wouldn't make business sense. So if you enjoy films like this, and I know that many of you do because I hear it every day, please, please, please find a way to legitimately buy the movie through legitimate means, so that the film makes money and we can make another one and another one after that, and maybe even with a bigger budget, and give you guys more of what you clearly love to see.